So hello and welcome to another episode of Stephen's Forum. Today I've got something completely different for you today because we're going to be spending a bit of time with this. This is a Nissan Sunny 1.6 GSX. I need to get that right because I know trim levels on these particular cars are quite important. And the one reason I really wanted to drive this car today, because there is a festival and a car show organised by Haggerty, and it's called Festival of the Unexceptional, and it's all about cars which are fairly everyday, fairly mundane, and trying to prove that there should actually be more of a following for them, actually should be special. So we're going to find out today whether this, which is a fairly everyday standard car, but because it's quite rare now, because it's got a little bit older, there's not that many around anymore, does this actually make it special? And that's what we're going to be finding out today. Now, before we get too into today's video, I just want to say a big thank you to Joseph over at Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. He's come over today. He's going to drive my partner's Figaro and do a video, and that'll be coming out soon. He's left me with this to have a little bit of a drive, so hence why we've done a little bit of a swap today. But I just want to say a big thank you to Joseph coming over and swapping cars, and we sort of get something out of it between us. So thank you very much. So forgive my notes to this. We're going to go over a few little bits and pieces to do with this car, a few facts and figures and all that before we get going really and showing you around. So this particular one is a 1989. It's a Sunny or a Polestar, it's known of a market. So N30 1.6 GSX Saloon. So GSX is a top of the range model, had various little bits and features, including a rev counter, one of the things which again is seen so normal today. Any basic car has a rev counter, but not quite so much back in the late 80s. So this particular one is a pre-facelift car. Now, although this is a top of the range car, we'll go over things on the inside that are a little bit rarer on cars you wouldn't expect to see. No air conditioner available in the UK market cars. This engine is the 1.6, it's got 83 horsepower and it's called a triangle engine. I think you'll see why we actually see the size and sort of the shape of the engine. So it's cam belt driven engine. There were a whole range of engines available, ranging from a 1 litre up to a 1.6 and a 1.8. This is the 1.6 sort of in the middle of that. There are also some diesels available. However, I've borrowed this car off Joseph from Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. He has a Mustang channel. We don't talk about diesels on this channel. So there were some diesels available in the spirit of his channel. We're not going to talk about those today. So there were a whole range of models: LS, LX, SLX, GS, SGX, and this particular one, which is the GSX. So I've said all those right. That's very, very confusing. You see why I've had to sort of write this stuff down, really. So let's go and have a little bit of a walk around and just point out some of the features on this car. So let's go and have a look at a bit more detail on this one. So I think we've got some original dealer plates there, so very nice. Lovely. Apparently original wheel trims, and wheel trims are actually correct for this model of car. Now, I haven't really gone inside yet, have we? Let's have a look on the inside. So I'm quite surprised how good condition this is in. The seats, really, really good condition as well, particularly this fabric. Normally those sort of wears, a little tiny bit of wear on the balls, they're very, very minor though, to be honest. And yeah, really good. Let's have a look at the dashboard. So we've got 83,000. Now, the engine in this car has been changed to 80,000 for a engine that had done 50,000 miles, if that makes sense. So it's not the original engine. Oh, I'll just have a little sit in here. So no air conditioning. Little tape unit there. That's an ashtray. We'll have some money in there. We'll leave that. Yeah, overall, really, really nice looking car. Torso, being top of the range model, has a sunroof. Now, this is an electric sunroof. And Joseph has told me do not touch it under any circumstances because he has a massive fear about sunroofs not closing in after you've opened them. So I'm not going to go near that. I will heed the advice. And yeah, we'll leave that. And also, I want to point out as well, look at all these electric windows here. All round electric windows. And even some modern cars don't have that. So we've got the two stickers here. I really like this bottom one here, Scappy Screen Survivor. Now, Scappy Screen was about 2010, I believe, and basically you could get a guaranteed £2,000 for any car, basically, against off price of a new car. So that really kill off a lot of these cars from the 80s and 90s, and also some classics as well. So lots of space back here. 5-seat belt as well. That's a lap belt in that middle one. Yeah, just lap belt, but again, 5 people in there with comfort, to be honest. Yes, very nice car, really nice condition. So now we're out in the Sunny. Overall, what a sweet little car this feels to drive. Very, very nice. Just a very nice, pleasant car to be. I can't really think of too much to say about it. The clutch feels a little bit high. It's definitely higher than I'm used to, but that could just be me because obviously a lot of the cars I own are automatic, so that might just be me. And we're trudging along this little B road doing 40, and it just feels a really nice car to drive. There's nothing remarkable about this car, nor does it feel particularly bad to drive. You know, it feels like a nice, sorted, quite well engineered car, and everything you would sort of expect from Nissan, to be honest. Now, it is a little bit of rarity, actually, apparently, to have this manual gearbox. Most of them were autos. One thing I will comment on, Joseph did warn me about this, is the brakes definitely do feel a little bit spongier. If it ain't wrong with them, I think it's just obviously slightly older technology in some of these older cars. Yeah, quite a little bit of pep on the engine. I think two major. I think it was about 83. I think I said at the beginning of the video, the 1.6. Yeah. Now Joseph has driven this car up all the way from the southeast. He hasn't just come up to see me. Don't get me wrong. I don't really think he's come all the way just to see me, which he hasn't. He's come up to do some other stuff and other bits of filming. But yeah, he said how good this car is, how long distance. I sort of feel that, to be honest. It doesn't feel quite as frantic as the Figaro. Figaro is a 3-speed automatic. It does feel a little bit frantic. So we're going to come to this junction here, give us plenty of braking distance. Nobody behind me, that's all. I'm good. Slow as I want. Just because I see what he means about these brakes. It's a bit like the Figaro. You do have to give yourself a little bit more time and a little more space just to brake. I think nothing wrong with the brakes. It's just the way older cars are. There we go. Yeah, so overall, my impressions are really positive. This car, it's just a really nice driving little car, and even though it's not anything sporty, I think they did some GTI model. I think Joseph mentioned, which will be interesting to drive. This is an everyday car. I think even some new cars wouldn't quite be able to compete with these. That's Joseph going the other way there in the Figaro. So let's get back to the original question I asked at the beginning of this video, and that's, should we be celebrating the average, celebrating the everyday, such as they do at Festival of the Unexceptional? Unfortunately, I couldn't make it this time, but this car was actually there, so if you were there, you might have actually seen this car. So should we actually celebrate the average? And I think so. There's something really positive about celebrating something that probably was never designed to be celebrated. This car was designed to be a workhorse. It was never designed to go around the show circuit and for people to spend thousands of pounds on keeping them on the roads 30 or 40 years down the line. So I think we should be celebrating cars like this. I think they do have a great place in the history of the car. Cars that are everyday, cars that are just not really sought after, cars that ultimately have gone to the scrapyard and none of them ever really survive. If I put this into my own context, my B-Class does a fantastic job as a daily driver. It is out in all weathers. I chuck sets of wheels in the back, I chuck big pieces of furniture in the back, and it goes on, takes on holiday, carries the dogs around, does all these fantastic things. I don't give that kind of credit. And that's where I sort of feel like we should be celebrating the average. Now, I do love my B-Class, and I think it's a fantastic car. But ultimately, that car, as I always say, it's a big box on wheels, and it's a tool. It's just there to be used. I know that car probably won't be on the road forever. I certainly won't be owning it forever. I'm not scared of using it, and that's the problem with cars like this. People like me aren't afraid to use them, and they're not going to live forever. And I want to say fair play to Joseph for actually buying this and actually done a few videos on his channel about this car, and fair play to you for actually putting some money into it and actually keeping cars like this alive. I definitely need more people like Joseph, and from what I've seen, there's a lot of people like Joseph out there celebrating everyday base cars that don't even have power steering, didn't have rev counters. Back in the day was normal. Cars didn't come without radio, for another example. So fair play to you, Joseph, and fair play to everyone that actually go out and celebrates and keeps these cars, these very average everyday cars, on the road. So just before we finish today, I want to say another big thank you to Joseph from Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Please do go and check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description below. And yeah, go and check out his channel. He does a lot of more reviews on lots of different cars, and there also will be a review on the Figure coming out soon. He has driven the SLK, he's also driven my Alfa Brera and that as well. So there are a few of my cars on his channel, and I've also done some stuff. I've driven a Volvo and a SsangYong on my channel as well. So thank you very much for watching. Definitely an eye-opener today for me. A positive eye-opener. And yes, I really think we should be celebrating the average a lot more than we actually do. So thank you very much for watching. It's going to be goodbye from me, goodbye from the Sunny, and we'll see you again really soon. Goodbye.